Practically everyone would be afraid of coming face to face with a lion, right? Or fall into the water and come across a shark. Being afraid of these animals is normal, but are you afraid of insects? Almost no one is scared when we look at a mosquito or an ant. And in today's video you will discover that some small insects can be even more dangerous than ferocious wild animals. Discover the 10 most dangerous insects in the world now. The animal world is huge and there is a great variation in species. Big, strong animals and also small, dangerous animals. So, without further ado, let's start with the star tick. Little is said about this tick, but it is quite deadly and must be avoided. This species of insect generally lives in rural areas where there are cattle, horses, and the like. This is why this insect is also called the horse tick. A tick bite can transmit a very dangerous disease known as spotted fever, a very strong infection that is worrying people and authorities. At first, this disease causes a very strong fever. So strong that it can cause the victim to die. Every year, hundreds of people die because of this tick in Brazil and, in many cases, once a person is infected, they cannot recover. We have already had cities where 100% of patients who were infected died. Of course there is a cure. The patient must be treated immediately. The Tsetse fly is an insect with the deadliest bite of all. This fly is native to Africa and feeds on blood. When these flies bite, they inject a very powerful toxin. This toxin has the power to put victims into a deep sleep. If you are bitten by this fly, you will become very weak and drowsy. Within a few days, the victim may experience high fever, fatigue, tremors, intense pain, convulsions until the person falls asleep and never wakes up. This disease that the tsetse fly transmits is also known as sleeping sickness and, in Africa alone, it ends up killing more than 500,000 people each year. This deadly fly is very tiny, measuring around 1.3 centimeters, and it is precisely its size and its powerful toxin that make this fly one of the most dangerous insects in the world. The bullet ant is the largest species of ant and is generally found in tropical forests in Nicaragua and Paraguay. Its sting is so strong that it is 30 times more painful than a wasp sting or even a bee sting. Anyone who has ever been stung by a bee knows that it hurts, so imagine being hit with that pain 30 times. This ant's bite is so painful and intense that we can say that this ant has the most painful bite in the animal kingdom. His pain is so great that it has even been compared to the pain of being shot. These bullet ants are generally 1 inch long. It is large and, in each colony, there are hundreds of these ants. Imagine being stung by several of them. The kissing bug is also known as the kissing bug because it has the habit of biting human beings' faces while we sleep, especially babies and children, and then infecting them. It transmits the parasite called Trypanosoma cruzi that causes the famous Chagas disease. The disease is transmitted through the insect's feces. The barber, after biting, deposits feces on the skin. This disease is very dangerous because Chagas disease causes swelling of the liver, generating strong fevers, but this first fever usually passes within a few days and the person does not even realize that they are infected. Although the parasite is already lodged within the body, in many cases the victim only discovers that they are infected years later when the disease is already very serious and has proliferated. The black widow can be found in every corner of the world except Antarctica. This spider has this name because the females usually kill and devour the male after mating, becoming an evil widow. These spiders then often take shelter inside old tires, empty cans and even inside shoes. They are super poisonous, but they are not aggressive. They only bite when they feel threatened, but when they bite the victim suffers, because their venom is very strong. But right at the moment of the bite the pain is mild, it feels like a mosquito bite. The real problem is after the venom starts to spread throughout your body. Within 15 minutes the poison begins to affect your nervous system, causing severe pain throughout your body, cramps and spasms, and the following hours are even worse because as the poison spreads more and more, the victim may have some parts of the body paralyzed. The heart rate slows and the pain increases, and many victims say they have hallucinations. If the victim is a pregnant woman and is bitten by this spider, it is quite possible that she will go into labor. The venom is quite strong, but when injected into healthy adults, the victim does not die but suffers a lot, and the bites are generally fatal in children. Although the puss caterpillar looks like a cute caterpillar with little hairs, don't be fooled by the appearance of this insect and don't touch it. It is exactly these little hairs that can make this insect quite toxic. These hairs are connected to several poisonous glands on its body and are so fine that, when touching the caterpillar, they easily enter the skin as if they were sharp thorns. Within a few seconds the victim may begin to feel nausea and severe chest pain, vomit and even convulse, and this severe pain can throb in their body for up to 12 hours. In most cases there is not much you can do. You have to wait, and during this long period of 12 hours the toxin can worsen and cause respiratory problems. If for any reason you touch this insect or are bitten by a dangerous insect, you have to go to the hospital, and also if you can catch the insect and take it with you in a safe way, thus helping the doctor to know which toxin is causing it. Insect injected into you, making treatment easier. The blowfly is very popular in Central and South America. It is a fly that carries a larva that lodges in the body of its victim. This parasite lives in the skin of mammals, including humans. When injected, this parasite grows inside our body and feeds on the victim's flesh. These larvae that live in humans are also known as burns, and the process to remove this worm is very painful and disgusting. When this fly injects its eggs, it causes an infection called myiasis, which leaves the person's body full of bugs. If left untreated, the person may die, not to mention that the bitten area becomes full of larvae and completely rotten. There are two types of myiasis: the one that attacks the skin and the one that attacks the nose. The one that attacks the nose happens mainly to those who suffer from rhinitis. We left the mosquito at the end of the list because it is truly the most dangerous insect of all. Nobody gets scared when they see a mosquito, but they should be at least worried about wanting to kill it, because you've seen how many mosquitoes there are out there, and most of the time these mosquitoes are not pure. They are full of diseases, and that is why they are considered the most dangerous insects in the world. They cause around 1 million deaths every year. Today there are several species of mosquitoes and each one transmits a disease, and one of the deadliest diseases transmitted by mosquitoes is the deadly disease known as malaria. Such a dangerous disease and responsible for the deaths of thousands of people every year. The World Health Organization estimates that every 30 seconds a child dies from malaria every year. More than 500 million cases have been reported as victims of this disease. That's why we have to be careful. No one wants to come across these undesirable insects. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like for more content like this. Until the next video.